This is my FFP proposal pitch. My intention. For this project, I'll be exploring the theme of fear. I will explore this theme by taking on the roles of cinematographer and the lighting operator in a short horror film. I felt a short horror film would be the best way to explore this theme, as the main goal from a horror film is to scare the audience. Concept of the film. The film will follow two college students attempting to create a satirical horror film. But when creating the film, they run into a real danger that causes their initial jokes to become a real living nightmare. A good amount of idea development and research is still required before the final decision of what the danger will be can be made. But at this moment in time, I like the idea of running into like a dead body or coming across a murder weapon. This would be the turning point for the film, as they would realise they're in the presence of a great danger. Then from this point, it will lead to a series of thrilling, intense events that will end up with one of them, or even both of the characters dead. Still not quite sure yet.
Okay.
Locations for filming. There will be several locations in this film, as it'll finish inside a house, but mainly be based in like a creepy foresty area. The best location we've got with so far is for it to take place in the woodlands by the Wrexham Rugby Club. I think this is the most perfect location because its surroundings and general areas. It's surrounded by open farming fields that will conflict strangely with the densely packed forest, and should be quite unsettling for the viewer to view at night time in particular.
Cool.
And I've decided my house will be the location for the home scene, as it's easier, accessible, and will provide all the needs we need for filming.
Okay.
Inspiration for the film. The main inspiration for this film will come from the Blair Witch Project. I like how much they conceal the identity of the threat they face throughout, as it leaves the imagination up to the audience. I plan to use lighting to obscure the identity of the danger in my film. I also like how it's shot handheld. I feel like this makes the audience be able to relate more to the characters as it puts themselves in the characters' shoes. Having this effect in a horror film is very effective, as almost always it's pretty terrifying to put yourself in the character's shoes. I'll utilise this feature to an extent in my film, but only want to go handheld after the problem has occurred. This is because it'll be this part in the film where the mood is a lot more intense, and I think by changing to a more intense camera angle, the whole mood will be amplified.
Good.
The cinematography, some shots I want to use. I want to use establishing shots near the beginning of the film, so the audience is aware of the haunted location right from the start. This will help build a tense mood, as hopefully the location is chosen. Hopefully we choose a location in which the audience wouldn't feel comfortable going to. Close-ups. I want to use close-up shots to the actors in the scenes when they are in danger, as this will help the audience feel the emotions felt by the characters. And static shots. Static shots will be used from hidden locations with obstacles obscuring the lens. These will be used to show that the two characters are being watched, and by partially covering the lens it will show whoever is watching is trying not to be seen. So use like depth of field and that kind of stuff. Lighting operator. When showcasing the attacker, I want to use backlighting to cause his features to be obscured, as I think leaving his identity a mystery causes more fear for the audience watching. Spotlighting. During the handheld section of the film, I think using a tight beam torch will be very effective, and so I'll use this method until the character returns to the home. By using this technique, it will allow me to make the audience look wherever I want, and so this makes for the perfect jump scare opportunities. Dim lighting. I want the majority of the film to be quite dimly lit. I think the darkness really brings out the scary side of the story, as it'll leave the audience wondering what's there amongst them. Target audience. The audience I'll be primarily targeting with this media are males aged 16 to 21. The reason for this target audience is because the two actors chosen in this film fall into this category, and so when watching the film they will be able to relate more to the characters and it'll be more effective. The social class for the video will be tagged in is working middle class. This is because, again, the two characters in the film will be of this class, and so the dialogue and actions will be understandable and relatable to them. Audience research. To gather a better understanding of my target audience, I would like to see the horror. To gather a better understanding of my target audience, that doesn't make sense.
Time's up.
Oh, shit.
That's right, just go to, yeah, so just the bottom bit then. Yeah.
I'll ask what horror films are that are their personal favourites, but also what scares them the most, as this will enhance my ability to create an enjoyable but scary film. I'll distribute these questions to people within my target audience, and then once answered, invite several of them into a focus group, where I'll allow them to expand on certain points to better my understanding, as I'm aware people don't like writing too much in questionnaires. The chosen platform to distribute the short film will be YouTube. This decision has been made as I'm aware this site is the most popular way for my chosen audience to view media. This will result in the media having the most exposure, as it will be the most accessible for the demographic. And then there's the schedule.
You don't have to sort of what you've got. Let's have a quick note, isn't it? Research. Okay, good. Better?
Yeah, any questions?
I like the idea.
Yeah.
Very much so. And I think that what you've said up to now, where you've thought about your locations, you've thought about how you're going to use your camera techniques to try and convey that, and your lighting as well. So you're thinking very carefully now about your subject and how you're going to do that. And again, if you stick to it, that will then create the fear experience that you're going for. So I think that's really good.
For me, I think the problem might be that, you know, it's very ambitious. So how long do you see it being?
I was going to go around 5 to 10.
Yeah, so that's pretty long.
Very ambitious.
Yeah. So my suggestion, and what you think, is that you consider doing it as a trailer for the film, because a lot of the stuff you're talking about, the thing with horror is it's like comedy. It's like setup and payoff. It's like we're in a scary place, someone jumps out of the shadows.
Yeah.
And those are the bits you want to show, aren't they? But in what you're pitching, there would also need to be, if you see a horror film, there also needs to be all the sort of exposition and setting the characters up and why they stay in the scary place. Yeah. Whereas you can skip all over that if you're doing it in a trailer format and really just hone it down to those moments that you're talking about in your pitch. And you know, you're saying you wanted to do like a sort of found footage thing, like a Blair Witch, or so I'd say really look at that as a genre, like the found footage genre, Paranormal Activity, and what's that one? Is it called The Gallows or something like that? There's loads of them. Wreck is a really, really good one. So really sort of like just hone it down into what makes those work out the moments from it that you really want to do and will show this fear aspect, and then do it as a trailer, because then you don't have to shoot. You can go to all these great locations and show them as being scary, but you don't have to shoot, you know, an hour of dialogue saying why are we going to the scary place. Like, you just can give an idea of it and a bit of performance and stuff. Yeah.
And the other thing as well with that is if it's something that you're still really into next year, if that's the area you want to go down, then there's no reason why you couldn't do an excerpt of that for your second year.
Yeah, you can develop it then.
Yeah. But and then also the other thing then is to look at horror trailers.
Yeah.
As you research, so you're looking at all the bits that are shown and how it builds up, because it's like a mini film in essence anyway. Trailers. You start off, and then the very final bit is the bit that should make you go, oh my god, I want to go and see that.
Yeah.
It's harder in a sense, I think, doing a trailer than a short film anyway, from the reasons that Ed said, is that you've got to pick the best bits of it.
Yeah. But
I think that would work really well for a trailer. And if you've got any extra footage and you want to go and, you know, in the final weeks of this year, you do a creative challenge anyway. It might be that you're working with Reese, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. It might be that you and Reese decide that you want to make the 5 to 10 minute film in your own time then. But I think for this, it would really, really work well, like Ed says, for trailer.
Yeah.
And you two were being in it, and then you're swapping roles on equipment, aren't you? So
Yeah, he's directing and doing the editing,
yeah.
and I'm doing the cinematography and lighting.
What about sound? Don't forget sound, because you will have,
Yeah,
you're going to have dialogue in it on at some point. So
Yeah.
that's a really important thing that everybody forgets about. So just think about who in the pair,
yeah,
who's interested mostly and who's had the most experience, who'd like to develop their skills in that area.
You just need some really key bits of dialogue that, again, like Liz said, look at trailers for films, particularly horror trailers that have really sold the film well, and see how they've used just like little snippets of dialogue to let you know what the story is,
yeah.
and then that's all you need then really, just as the
Mm-hmm.
as the setup. And then you can show your skills as a horror filmmaker over a less period of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. Right, well done, thank you.
Awesome.